Hey guys, welcome to the week of December the 2nd through the 4th. We're in the final countdown before semester exams and Christmas break, so we got to buckle down and get some work done. Let's go ahead and look at Monday night's homework. Monday, December the 2nd. The Texas flag is a rectangle and has a width to length ratio of 2 to 3. Using the given information to find length of the Texas flag with a width of 28 inches. So the first thing we need to do is draw a picture. Okay, once I have my pictures labeled with what I know, here's my Texas flag that is 2 inches by 3 inches. Width to length. Width is being our short side versus our long side. Well, then we have a bigger one that I want to know the length of a Texas flag with a width of 28. So I need to set up a proportion table. So here I go, setting up a proportion table. Let's see what we have here. Okay. So I know I'm comparing width to length. So on our first one that we actually have, I know the width is actually 2 and the length is 3, and that's on our original flag. But I know on the bigger one, our width is actually 28, and I'm looking for our length or our X value. Okay, so looking at this, I know to go from 2 to 28, it has a pretty scale factor. Here, our scale factor is 14. If I do it to the top, I'm going to have to do it to the bottom. So 3 times 14. So if I look at this and I have 14 times 3, three times 4 is 12, carry your 1. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So that means our length is equal to 42. Now that was your problem for Monday night. You can either look on and make any kind of notes you need to make on your spiral, or you can stop the video and watch again tomorrow night. Moving on though. Tuesday, December the 3rd. Looking at problem number 5, we need to order the set of numbers in order from greatest to least. Well, here they're all different. We have a fraction, a percent, a decimal, another decimal, and a fraction. The easiest thing is to make them all, percents are all decimals. And the reason why is because if they were fractions, you would have to find a common denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and do the easier ones I know, and that's getting rid of your percent sign. Getting rid of your percent sign, move 2 forward. 1, 2. So that's the same as 0.52. This one right here is already 0.06. So I can already tell that 0.52 is larger, 52 hundredths is larger. Then we have 1.3, but the others, they all have 2 decimal places after that. See, we have 1, 2 places. We have 1, 2 places. So this one also has to have 2. So I'm going to add a 0 there. So that's 1.30. Okay. And then this fraction is one of the easier fractions we know. This is a half. A half is the same thing as 0.50. Half of a whole dollar is 50 cents. Okay. Now 3/5 is the only one I have to remember. Now remember the shortcut to your fist, the high five. Each finger is 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, which makes 100. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So if I have 3/5, That's like taking 3 of them, 3/5, which would be 60%. And 60% would be your 0.60 or 0.60. Now, if you cannot remember your hand as a shortcut, then you're going to have to remember the rule of Tebow. Top number in, bottom number out. Again, if that means top number in, bottom number out, the top number would be a 3, the bottom number 5. 3 can't go into 5, 5 can't go into 3, so you have to add your decimal and your 0. Bring it up. 5 goes into 36 times. So it gives you 30 and you have nothing left over. 0.6. Okay? Now your objective was to put them in order from greatest to least, the biggest. This is 0.60, 0.52, 0.06, but this is 1.30. So the biggest would be your 1.3. And the best way to do these is line them up one on top of the other, 1.3 or 1.30. Then what you would have next, so we marked that off, we did that one. We have 60, 52, 6, or 50. The answer here would be 60. So you have your 3/5. So that's 0.60 or 60 hundredths. So we've done that one. And next we should have 52 or 0.52. And then we have our 1/2 or our 0.50. None of these other ones have whole numbers, so 0, 0 there. And then our last one is 6 hundredths. Now looking at it, we can easily see 1 is bigger than 0. 30 is bigger only because it has a 1 whole. So looking at the rest, 60 is bigger than 52, 52 is bigger than 50, and 50 is bigger than 6. But you have to put it in the order that's given to you. So that's 1.3 in the way it's given to you. 1.3, 60 is 3/5. Your 52 is given to you as 52%. Your 50 was given to you as 1/2. And then 0.06. Okay, that was Tuesday nights. Now let's look at Wednesday nights. Number 1, Antonio and his 2 brothers equally share the cost of a new CD with a list price of $18. They receive a 20% discount off the list price and paid 8.25% sales tax on the discounted price. Find the approximate amount that each of the 3 brothers paid toward the cost of the CD. Well, this is going to be multi-step first because it says the cost of the CD has a list price of $18. That is not the sales price. And we know that they're getting 20% off. So I need to set up a proportion box talking about our cost versus what we actually pay, our full price. Okay guys, I've got part of my proportion table set up. I know I'm talking about the part that I'm going to pay versus the whole amount. The whole amount was 18 and percent means per 100. I don't want to use 20 because the 20 is how much I'm getting off. And percent means out of 100. So 100%. So if I'm getting 20% off, that means if I'm talking about the part that I'm paying, are you paying 20% or is that how much you're taking off? so much you're taking off. So that means I'm paying 80%. So if I use the 80 right there, I'm going to have less work to do. Okay, so looking at it, I can get rid of these two zeros here. I can reduce first. Get rid of a zero there, get rid of a zero here. Now I have 8/10, and that can reduce to 4/5. Okay, once I get 80%, which is 4/5, reduced down, there's still not a pretty scale factor, so what I can do is I can cross multiply and divide 18 times 4 divided by 5. Okay guys, so what we came up with, when I multiply 18 times 4, I get $72. Okay, then once I have 72, I want to divide by 5 here. So 72 divided by 5 is $14.40. So I'm going to be paying $14.40 for just the sales price. Okay. Now we have to pay tax on that. Okay. Okay, guys, one of the keywords I want to point out to you in this story was it says find the approximate amount of each. And the reason why I wanted to point that out to you is because this right here, this percentage, 8.25, is a lot of work. I'm not sure if you've ever asked your parents, hey, do I have enough money to buy this? Well, 8.25% is close to 10%. And when you're finding 10% of anything, what you're doing is actually moving your decimal in one. So if I'm going to pay $14.40, or if I'm out shopping and I see something that's $14.40, I'm not going to ask my parents if I have enough for tax. What I want to do is I want to round that tax up. Instead of 8.25%, I want to change it I'm going to change that to 10%. Because 10% is easy to do in your head. The shortcut to 10% is you want to move your decimal in one spot. And this you can use every day. Like you can go shopping tomorrow and look at something, look at a price tag and be able to do this. What you do is you move your decimal in one place. So tax for 10% would be $1.44. That's how much tax is going to be. Now you don't just pay tax, you also have to pay the original amount, which was $14.40. So together, that's going to be $15.84. And the whole key to this is the three brothers are going to split this. So that means I have to take that $15. We know it can't be D. It's not going to be D at all because D is what it is probably without being split at all. So I want to take the $15 and I want to divide by 3. Well, how many times can 3 go into 15? 5. Which is 15. Keep going. 3 can go into 8. How many times? Twice. So the only one that's closest to that answer is going to be B, $5.20. That is your answer for number 1.